Today I want to tell you about a rather interesting 2012 film called Grabbers. Near a small Irish island, something falls from space. Bloodthirsty octopus-like aliens, finding themselves in the sea, first attack a fishing boat and kill the crew. Replacing one of the police officers, newcomer Lisa Nolan arrives on the island and meets her colleagues and the local residents, all of whom are not averse to having a good drink. And soon this charming habit will save their lives, as the alien visitors intent on devouring the island's entire population cannot stand alcohol. My name is Alex and welcome to my channel. One night, not far from the small Irish island of Arran, something resembling a flare appears in the black sky. The crew of the nearby trawler Sea Harvester contacts the Coast Guard, but they deny any distress. Then, driven by curiosity, the sailors approach the crash site. One by one, they go out on deck and disappear overboard. The next day, police officer Kieran O'Shea wakes up with a severe hangover. Meanwhile, a female police officer from Dublin named Lisa Nolan arrives on the island. Kieran meets her in his car, and she immediately notices the state of her new colleague. At the same time, Dr. Gleason discovers dead whales on the shore with terrible wounds on their bodies. Lisa meets her new colleagues. Although Kieran is surprised by her arrival, orders are orders. Meanwhile, fisherman Paddy Barrett catches a strange creature with blue tentacles in a lobster trap, which angrily spits a foul-smelling liquid at his partner Paddy. The fishermen are puzzled, as they have never seen such a curiosity. Meanwhile, the police go to the shore, where Dr. Gleason called them. There they meet marine ecologist Adam Smith. He explains that sometimes marine animals are washed ashore. But the wounds on their bodies were inflicted in the sea, not from hitting rocks. At this time, Paddy brings the caught creature home and puts it in the bathtub, and Kieran organizes the delivery of the dead whale carcass to the laboratory so that Smith can study it in peace. When the workers are about to leave the beach, one of them suddenly sees a strange round object in the sand, resembling the egg of an unknown animal. He digs it up and is immediately attacked by an unknown creature that drags him into the sea. The man's boss goes to look for him later but doesn't find him. Meanwhile, Kieran and Paddy meet in the bar of the local hotel, where they listen to the news about the disappearance of the crew of a fishing schooner tonight. Paddy tells the policeman about the sea monster he caught in the morning. However, Kieran doesn't believe him and goes home. At this time, the second fisherman named Murphy hears a knock at the door and goes to check who is there at night. And at the door is someone who behaves very strangely, as if inviting him to dance. The man goes out the door and is immediately dragged onto the roof of the house. Murphy's wife tries to hide in the house, but before she can close the bolt, something drags her into the pipe. Meanwhile, Kieran knocks on Lisa's door. The girl realizes that he is drunk beyond decency and suggests that the man finish the evening at home. She finds it strange that he drinks every day, and he doesn't understand how one can not drink at all. Hearing the words that it's time for him to go to bed, Kieran passes out. Meanwhile, Paddy arrives at his house, goes into the bathroom, and instead of the caught creature, sees an egg. He looks around and finds a foul-smelling slime on the wall, and immediately tentacles of an unknown creature descend from the ceiling. One of them grabs Paddy, and then the monster attacks him. But the fisherman manages to tear off the suckers and trample, unintelligible. In the morning, the hotel owner advises Lisa to pay attention to Kieran. The man is a widower and can't forget his wife, so he drinks. But Lisa has every chance to fix the man. The girl goes to the station, where she put Kieran at night, because she didn't know his address and couldn't take him there. At this moment, a call comes from Paddy, who intends to get a reward for the killed monster, which he brought to Smith's laboratory in the morning. The fisherman called it a grabbersome. Although the scientist is against such a name, because it should reflect the type of animal. And here it is completely unclear what it is. He has never seen such a unintelligible, and is not even sure if it is dead. Smith demonstrates the creature's tongue to Lisa, which shoots out like a frog's and is covered with holes through which the monster drinks blood, similar to rare deep-sea vampire squids. But this creature gives the impression of being alien. Smith shows the glow of the skin that appears when he wipes off the slime and claims that the organism needs blood and water to survive. Paddy immediately asks if he can sell this wonder on eBay, but Smith forbids him to even think about it. This specimen turned out to be a pregnant female, and the proof of this is the egg. Later, Kieran suggests that it is related to the death of the whales, but Lisa doubts it, because it is much smaller than the dead animals. Later, Kieran and Lisa find Cooney's car near Murphy's house, on the roof of which some scraps are visible. The girl climbs up and finds pieces of the woman who died last night. She pulls on them, and a round object flies out of the pipe and falls right on Kieran's head. He screams in pain but immediately falls silent, seeing Murphy's head lying in front of him. The doctor, to whom the policeman brings the terrible find, cannot even guess who could do such a thing. The conversation is interrupted by the appearance of Patty, who leads the police to his home and shows the broken egg in front of him. Kieran unfolds a map, marking the places where the incidents occurred. They are all located in one bay, and it seems that a male lives there. Patty remembers the black rocks where there is a cave, and the team heads there. Kieran and Lisa enter the cave and soon find a fisherman's vest, and Patty discovers several eggs in the sand, from which creatures are about to hatch. At this time in the cave, Kieran screams, scaring the girl, and immediately a giant alien squid appears in front of them. The police run away, taking Patty with them. Later, they try to call for help, but they are taken seriously only when Lisa confirms the danger. They rush to the laboratory, where Smith concluded that the whales were food for these creatures. Kieran pours the remains of the female with a flammable mixture, as he is sure that the male will come for her. He sets fire to the carcass, but the fire extinguishing system immediately activates, and the fire goes out. It is this temperature change that revives the dead female. Smith arms himself with a chair, Lisa with a knife, and Kieran with a rolled-up magazine. And yet they are unprepared for the squid's attack. It wraps its tentacles around Kieran's head. Smith and Lisa tear, unintelligible, and it suddenly spits out human blood and falls dead. People finish it off, although Smith regrets that he cannot make a great discovery. And Lisa suddenly wonders what the hatched creatures will eat if the whales around the island are gone. Then Patty returns to the laboratory, and looking at him, people are surprised how he managed to deal with the monster. He talks about his diet, but Kieran suddenly realizes, the fisherman was just drunk. The creatures feed on blood, and apparently, alcohol causes an allergic reaction in them. So, people need to hold out on the island for just one night. Tomorrow help will arrive, they will be evacuated, and the creatures will be destroyed with some bomb. Kieran suggests gathering them in the bar and having a grand drinking binge. They tell everything to the bar owner Brian and show him part of the creature. And although he doesn't fully believe in the reality of the threat, he agrees. Although Lisa is horrified, as she has never drunk alcohol. But Kieran volunteers to stay sober tonight because only he can control the situation. Later, Lisa takes a dose of alcohol and immediately begins to mock her friends for drinking homemade moonshine. Patty's girl gets drunk. The doctor takes her blood, and people feed it to the newborn, unintelligible. It almost immediately dies. And people come to the conclusion that for certainty, the drink must be strong. The police rush to the church, where all the islanders have gathered. Kieran invites people to a party in honor of Lisa's arrival, and everyone happily heads to the bar. While the residents are having fun, Kieran and his team count the available weapons, which include a nail gun, a child's toy gun without bullets, a flare gun, and a water gun that Brian intends to fill with gasoline and turn into a flamethrower. Later, the bartender returns to his duties, pouring everyone alcohol. The islanders are having a great time. And Lisa and Kieran go out to the car to be able to observe the surroundings, which is pouring with heavy rain. Lisa confesses under the canopy that she likes Kieran, but the policeman is not used to accepting confessions sober and asks to postpone the conversation until the morning. At this time, the doctor goes outside, and the man laughs at the stories about his dead wife. She just left him, so there is no tragedy. Meanwhile, the doctor sees that the entire shore is littered with small creatures, and one of them clings to his face. The man screams, Kieran and Lisa hear it, and they come to his aid. While Lisa scatters the creatures, Kieran frees the doctor, but then a giant male alien appears from behind the house and eats the man. The couple hides in the car, but the squid grabs it and tries to wipe the people out of it. Suddenly, the police siren turns on, unintelligible, lets go of the car, and Brian opens the doors to see what is happening. Kieran and Lisa manage to rush into the building. The bar owner asks Smith to light a candle in the gasoline gun, and he somehow manages to do it. He rushes outside, intending to set the monster on fire, but the candle goes out in the rain. Kieran barely manages to save Brian, and then the owner remembers that he needs to change the barrels, otherwise the alcohol will run out. At this moment, people start heading home. Kieran tries to stop everyone, and the bar owner accuses Patty, because he brought these creatures to the island. A scandal breaks out, during which the drunk Smith goes outside to photograph the monster. It feels the scientist with its tentacles and throws him far away, and Kieran commands everyone to run to the upper floor. People see how the monster breaks through the wall and try to save themselves. At this time, the bar is invaded by the offspring of the creature. Kieran manages to close the doors to the stairs, but now he has to confess everything. And then the male starts knocking on the door. Patty reminds that the female marked Kieran. So, he obviously wants intimacy with the man. People try to find a way out of the situation, but they have no weapons. And how to deal with such a monster, they do not know. Lisa remembers the loaders. If they catch the creature and do not let it return to the sea, it will definitely die. But you can only get to the construction site on a pickup truck, the keys to which remain downstairs. But the man cannot pass by the monster, and then Lisa volunteers to do it. She is given a nail gun, and the completely incoherent girl goes downstairs. Where the offspring of the creatures are frolicking, she deals with a couple before finding a bottle of booze, and then the keys to the car. But then the tentacles of the alien break into the doors. The girl takes a lighter, runs, and falls, setting fire to the bar's interior. Meanwhile, the monster turns out. However, she fights back and runs away. People start to smell smoke. Kieran climbs out the window when the monster reaches the roof of the house, and then the policeman sees the pickup truck driven by Lisa. He jumps into the back. The car drives to the port while the creature chases them. They reach the construction site. The policeman lures the monster to the pit where the barrels of fuel are stored and prepares the flare gun. But, unintelligible, dodges, the guy falls into the pit. And then Lisa appears at the wheel of the loader. However, the girl cannot handle the heavy machine, it falls on the monster and crushes it. And when the couple is about to celebrate the victory, the tentacles knock out Kieran's body. The creature is about to eat the man and opens its mouth, where Kieran pours alcohol from the bottle he has. It throws the man away. And Lisa shoots it with the flare gun. The monster explodes. In the morning, the islanders come to their senses, regretting that such a fun night has ended. Kieran throws away his flask of alcohol and kisses Lisa. And on the shore, a small alien squid is about to hatch from an egg. Listen, of course, European cinema has a certain flair that sets it apart from American cinema. But this is a decent indie comedy, unexpectedly heartwarming, funny, and amusing, with good acting, funny jokes, and an unexpected romantic line. Subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like this video and write in the comments how you liked this movie. And with you was Alex.